A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Which way did he go?
That way. Down through the garden.
This stone. It's so dark you can't see. Dr. Rudd. There, at the bottom of the terrace.
Professor Laborde. Laborde, why Oh, good Lord.
What is it?
He must have fallen down the steps, broken his neck. He's dead.
Midnight, the witching hour when the night is darkest, our fears the strongest, and our strength at its lowest ebb. Midnight, when the graves gape open and death strikes. How? You'll learn the answer in just a minute in The Kabalah.
And now, Murder at Midnight. Tales of mystery and terror by radio's masters of the macabre. Our story by Robert Newman is The Kabalah.
A rambling house on the outskirts of a small university town. And in the house, a room that seems more like the cell of a medieval alchemist than the study of a college professor. Its walls lined with ancient volumes and astrolabes and other curious instruments. Bent over his desk, Dr. Rudd does not hear the knock on the door at first. But when it's repeated, he says,
"Come in."
Alan's going, Father. He wanted to say good night to you.
Oh, yes, Alan. Good night.
I was terribly sorry to hear about the decision of the Board of Trustees, sir. I mean, they're refusing to give you a grant to go on with your research.
Oh, that. Well, it doesn't matter. I've about decided to give up the whole project anyway.
Your book?
Yes.
Father, you're not serious. I thought you were almost finished with it.
I am. All but the last chapter. I just can't seem to write that without additional research. And without the last chapter, why, the rest of the book is meaningless.
Well, isn't there anyone you could talk to about it, sir? Anyone who could help you?
I doubt it, Alan. I think I know as much about the occult as anyone in the world, except perhaps one man.
Who's that, Father?
The man I studied under at the University of Paris. And I haven't heard from him in over 10 years. I'm not even sure that he's still alive. Too bad this is the 20th century, not the 12th.
How so, Dr. Rudd?
Oh, it would have been very simple then. A pentacle, a pair of quartz candles, and I could summon up someone who would make things very easy for me. Yes, right now I really believe I won't sell my soul for the help I need.
Father, you mustn't say things like that, even as a joke.
Well, you're right, Bob. And no one knows it better than I. Well, good night, Alan. See you in the morning.
Right, Dr. Rudd. Good night.
I'll walk you down to the road, Alan.
Oh, fine, dear. Pretty depressed, isn't he?
Father? Yes. Not that I blame him. 4 years' work. The definitive book on occultism, the supernatural. Alan!
Yes, I see it, too. Someone or something lying in the road. Come on.
An old man. And he's dressed so strangely.
He looks like an Arab. Wonder what he's doing around here. Anyway, he seems in a bad way. Here, I'll carry him into the house. You run ahead and tell your father.
All right.
In here, Alan, in my study.
All right.
We'll put him on the couch. What's wrong with him?
Well, it's hard to say, but I think it's just exhaustion.
Oh, his pulse is very weak. Barbara, call Dr. Stevens.
Of course, Father. He's opening his eyes.
Where? What is this place? No, it's all right. You're among friends. We're sending for a doctor.
A doctor? You're kind, but it's too late. Allah stretches his hand out for me.
Nonsense. All you need is some food, rest.
No, I'm dying. But if you are indeed friends, one last request. Will you grant it?
If we possibly can.
I am a Hajj, a Sufi. I come of a long, ancient line. Will you see that I get proper burial?
Oh, yes, of course.
I have no gold, no money, but...
He's fainting. Loose this robe, Alan.
Right. Say, he's got something hidden here. Parchment scroll.
The Kabalah. You've taken the Kabalah.
It's all right.
No, you must not. It's a curse. Into the fire. Destroy it. If you use it...
Father.
Yes. Yes, he's dead. May his soul rest in peace.
You're very quiet tonight, Dr. Rudd. Thinking about the funeral?
Huh?
Our Arab friend?
Yes, Alan. Partly. And partly about this parchment he had hidden in his room. It seems to be a form of the Kabalah.
That's right. That's what he called it when he got so excited. Wanted you to destroy it. But the Kabalah is just the science of letters and numbers, isn't it?
It's much more than that, Barbara. It's the science of the mystical attributes of letters and numbers. The basis for almost all occultism. But this system is different from any I ever saw before.
Different? How?
Well, this particular system tells how a question can be written out, the letters changed into numbers and manipulated. When the numbers are changed back into letters, they will answer the question.
Listen, Professor, what do you say we try it?
Try it?
Sure. Of course, it's a lot of nonsense, but, well, why not?
Oh, well, all right. There's paper and pencils on my desk.
What are you going to ask, Father?
Oh, something simple, something we can check.
Me, I'm going to ask something really practical. Okay, Professor, let's go.
How are you coming, Father?
Almost finished. Now, let's see. Zadek, Mem, Vav. Great Scott.
What is it?
Look at this. Here's my question. Will we have any visitors today?
Uh-huh.
And here's the answer. 2 visitors. Professor Laborde and someone else.
Professor Laborde.
Do you remember my telling you yesterday that there was one person in the world who could give me the help I needed to finish my book?
Yes.
That man was Professor Laborde.
Father, you don't really believe it, do you?
I don't know.
Well,
Told you I haven't seen or heard from him in 10 years. But just the same...
Dr. Rudd, look.
Hmm?
Look here, I got something, too.
What is it, Alan?
Well, here's my question. How can the professor get the money to continue with his research?
Yes?
Here's the answer. Call Mark Endicott.
What?
Of course. Why don't you, Father? He's always been interested in you and your work.
Well, I just never thought of it. I'll go in and call him right away.
Well, Father, did you get him?
Yes. Yes, it's very strange.
In what way?
He said that he'd been thinking about me a good deal lately, and he's driving out here this evening to see me.
There. That's the answer to your question. 2 visitors. Professor Laborde and someone else. Well, he must be the someone else.
You think so?
Oh, of course.
Somehow I don't.
Well, what do you mean, sir?
I don't know. Except that I don't like it.
It's beginning to look as if our Kabalah is a washout after all.
And what makes you say that?
Well, 11 o'clock and no sign of either Laborde or Endicott.
I can't understand it. Endicott definitely said that he was driving out here and that he was leaving immediately.
He'd probably changed his mind because of the storm. But it's still pretty bad out, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not like him. You think he'd phone us and let us know? Oh, perhaps that's he now. Hello? Yes? This is Professor Rudd speaking. Who? Oh, yes. What? But that's impossible. I spoke to him only a few hours ago, and... Why, I can't believe it. You're sure? Oh, I see. But thank you. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Who was it, Father?
That was Mark Endicott's attorney.
His attorney? What did he want?
Mark Endicott was killed at about 6 o'clock this afternoon.
Killed?
On his way here, an auto accident. His attorney called to tell me Endicott had left me a $5,000 bequest for research.
What?
Father, the Kabalah. It said you were to call him for the money to continue your work. It didn't actually say he was coming out here.
No.
Wait a minute. You mean, you really think
I don't know, Alan. But I do know that if I hadn't called him, he wouldn't have started driving here in the storm. He wouldn't have had the accident and been killed. And I probably wouldn't have gotten the money.
But, Father, if it's true, if it has some sort of supernatural power, then what about Professor Laborde? It did say he was coming.
Oh, please, Bob, I told you I don't know. Endicott was my friend. Now he's dead. And somehow I feel as if...
Father, the door.
Yes. Yes, let's see who it is.
Great Scott, Professor, if it is Laborde, do you realize what this means?
Yes, Alan.
If it is, well, the thing's priceless, absolutely priceless. Why, I don't...
I beg your pardon. I'm sorry to trouble you, but...
Come in, Professor Laborde. Come in. We've been expecting you for some time now.
An ancient manuscript which can foretell the future. A dead man and a visitor from the dead. As the clock strikes 12 for murder at midnight.
And now, back to Murder at Midnight and the Kabalah.
Just a moment or two later, and Professor Laborde is being shown into Dr. Rudd's study.
In here, Professor Laborde. Barbara, will you take the professor's things?
Of course, Father.
Thank you, my dear. You're very kind. But there's something I do not understand, Dr. Rudd. When you opened the door, you said you had been expecting me.
Since early this afternoon.
But that is impossible. Completely impossible. I'm here entirely by accident. I had no idea you lived here or anywhere near here. I lost my way in the storm, knocked at your particular door by chance to ask for directions.
Nevertheless, we've been expecting you.
Excuse me, how could you have been?
Alan.
Yes, sir?
Show Professor Laborde the Kabalah, will you please?
Right, Professor. Here you are, sir.
Kabalah?
Look at it, Professor. Tell me what you think of it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Of course, I cannot be sure without examining it thoroughly. But it appears to be even older than the Black Grimoire. And its form resembles that of the Key of Solomon.
Professor Laborde, it's my belief that it is the Key of Solomon.
What? But it can't be. It's been written about for centuries, of course, mentioned in hundreds of works, from Trismegistus down. But there's never been any proof that it ever actually existed. And still, where did you get it?
From an old Arab who came here last night and died here.
The main thing is we tested it.
Tested it?
Yes, we asked 2 questions. The answer to one of them prophesied your coming here, and the other, well, that came true, too.
But this is beyond words. If it's true, then it's the most priceless discovery that has ever... Professor Rudd, may I try it? Use it to ask a question to?
Well, I don't know, Professor Laborde.
Please. For years now, ever since I began studying the supernatural, there's been something. One thing I've always said I'd give my very life to know. If it can tell me that, you must let me, Rudd. And you must let me do it while I'm alone.
Well, all right.
Good.
Come on, Alan, Barbara. We'll wait outside.
What time is it now, Professor?
It's 20 hours.
He's been at it for quite a while.
Yes. If he doesn't call us in another minute or two, we'll go in.
I'm probably being very silly, but I don't like this, any of it.
Why not, Barbara?
I don't know, but... What's that?
Professor Laborde, come on. Professor Laborde, what is it? What's happened? What are you doing?
He's burning something in the fire.
Father, it's his hands. He's holding them in the fire, burning.
Great Scott, Professor Laborde, stop. Stop. Have you gone mad?
Fire! Only fire can burn my hands clean again. I asked. Now I must pay.
Laborde.
Let me go. Let go. I am coming. I'll pay.
Professor Laborde, come back. Quick, Alan.
Okay. Which way did he go?
That way. Down through the garden.
The stone. It's so dark I can't see. Dr. Rudd. There, at the bottom of the terrace.
Professor Laborde. Laborde, why... Oh, good Lord.
What is it?
He must have fallen down the steps, broken his leg. He's dead. All right now, Alan. Put him down. Gently.
Yes, sir.
Father, are you sure that...
Yes, Barbara, I'm sure. He's dead.
What made him do it? Go running out there that way?
It must have been something to do with the Kabalah. He was going to ask it a question.
Yes, Alan, it has something to do with the Kabalah.
And standing there with his hands in the fire, as if he were trying to burn them clean. Father, what was the question he asked? What answer did he get?
I think perhaps I can guess.
The old Arab, he warned us, remember? He said it was accursed, evil, that if we used it... Wait a minute, Dr. Rudd. Laborde said he'd give his life to know the answer to that question, and now he's dead.
Yes, Alan, that's what was in my mind, too. That and one more thing. Do you remember what I said just before you found the old Arab in the garden? That I'd make a pact with the devil, sell my very soul for the help I needed to finish my book?
No, Father. You're not serious. You don't mean you really
I've
believe it.
lived too long, my dear, seen too many strange things to disbelieve anything. If the Kabalah is everything we think it is, if it is the key to the future, to all knowledge, if it can answer any question we put to it, then there are only two sources from which it can draw its power. One good and one evil.
And you think...
If God had wished us to be able to foresee the future, we should be able to foresee it. On the other hand, if it's evil, well, there's usually a penalty involved.
The board. He said something about paying, too. Who must be paid, and how?
There's only one way to find out, through the Kabalah itself. Give it to me, Alan.
No, please, no.
I'm sorry, Barbara, I must. There's no need for you to stay here, or Alan.
No, Father. We'll stay, both of us.
Very well. Then, here goes.
You're shivering, darling. Are you cold? Shall I build up the fire?
No, I'm not cold. What was that?
It sounded like the outside door opening.
Oh,
Father, what is it? Are you finished?
Yes. Yes, I'm finished.
And what?
Look. Here's the question.
Who must be paid, and how?
And here's the answer.
Turn around, and you will see.
Father, the door behind us, it just opened.
Yes.
I don't dare turn around.
You needn't. Right in front of you, there on the wall. Look.
Something black, like a stain, a blot. But it's spreading, moving.
Like an octopus. Or like...
It's shadow. It's coming toward us.
What in heaven's name is it?
Whatever it is, whatever happens to us, no one shall ever again be cursed as we've been cursed. The Kabalah, give it to me.
Father, what are you doing?
What I should have done when I first saw it. Destroy it. Throw it into the fire.
It's coming closer. Closer. Professor, isn't there anything we can do? Anything that...
Father, look. The parchment burning. There on the wall.
The shadow of the andirons. In the shape of the crux ansata. The first cross.
Good Lord. The shadow, it's wavering. Drawing back, retreating. I'm going to turn around, see what...
No, wait. Wait until... All right. Now.
There's nothing there.
The board? The board? Dr. LeBoy.
Someone just came in. Who's there? Who is that?
Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I'm looking for someone. An old man with white hair and white beard. His name's... Holy smoke, there he is, Dr. LeBoy. Dr. LeBoy.
I can't answer you. He's dead.
Dead?
Who are you, anyway?
Well, an attendant at a private hospital in town. We've been taking care of him ever since he got to this country. Nervous breakdown. He disappeared this afternoon, and he'd been talking about you so much lately that I had a hunch he might have come out here.
Talking about me? But he said he had no idea I lived here.
Of course he knew. I told you he wasn't right in the head. That was one of the signs.
Father, if it's true, if his mind was going, that would explain what he did. Burning his hands, running away like that.
You mean the Kabalah didn't have any occult power? What about the money from Endicott?
Oh, just a coincidence.
And what just happened? That shadow we saw on the wall?
Well, it was only a shadow. It could have been just our imagination.
Yes, Barbara, it could have been. But somehow, I don't think it was.
An old professor stands next to the body of his friend. staring at the fireplace where the secret of the ages has gone up in smoke as the clock strikes 12 for
Murder at Midnight.
Remember to be with us again when death whispers from the darkness in an unknown tongue, and the clocks strike 12 for
Murder at Midnight.
The part of Dr. Rudd was played by James Van Dyke. With music by Bert Berman, Murder at Midnight was directed by Anton M. Leader.
And now, Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations present Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite brings you William Bendix in Breakup, a suspense play produced and directed by Anton M. Leader.
Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Autolite and its 60,000 dealers and service stations. And friends, today is the very first birthday of Autolite resistor spark plugs. Yep, and a more popular one-year-old you never saw. That's why car owners everywhere are switching to Autolite resistor spark plugs, and no wonder. For when you replace your narrow gap plugs with wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs, your car will idle smoother. You'll have better luck with lean gas mixtures, actually save gas dollars. What's more, wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs cut down spark plug interference with radio and television reception. So, friends, don't debate, delay, defer, or defray, but drive down tomorrow to your nearest Autolite dealer and switch to a set of sensational Autolite resistor spark plugs. You'll be glad you did. And now, here is William Bendix in a tale well calculated to keep you in
Suspense.
Let him alone, Chick. Max, tell Chick to let him alone.
All right, Chick. Just use him for a footrest. It ain't often a fella gets a chance to wipe his feet on a cop.
Where are we taking him, Max?
Oh, to the end of the line, Marty. Then we give him a transfer. A steel jacket transfer. Get the picture, Chick? Chick gets the picture.
When, Max?
When we get over the bridge. Yeah, we'll make Kabalah a good cop. And then we'll dump him. Chick, I said enough's enough.
Make it stick this time, will you, Max?
You're awful sensitive for an ex-cop. You with us, Marty?
What do you think?
I think maybe you're remembering that before they bounced you off the force, you and Kabalah once teamed together on the homicide squad.
Once had long red curls, too. No, Max, what I'm remembering is the raw deal that Captain Brandt gave me. And the little murder rap Kivalan's been just sweating to pin on me.
Marty, tell you what.
Yeah?
You're all the time asking for a chance to climb up in the organization. I'm going to give it to you now. I'll let you combine business with pleasure as a personal favor.
I'm listening.
I'm going to let you put the quiet on Kabalah all by yourself. How's that? I didn't hear you, Marty. I said, how's that?
How's that, he says. How's that? I leave it to you, Captain Brandt. You dealt the cards for this hand. How is it? Me, Marty Connors, turning cop killer. Are you satisfied, Brandt? We're on the Queensboro Bridge now. Me and Kivy. Remember your tough team of Connors and Kivalang? Only this time he ain't my partner, Brandt. He's my gun meat. I guess I should have expected anything. Anything at all once I started to roll on my own. No holds barred since the breakup. Just a lot of dirty infighting from the day Brandt put the skids under me in front of those newspaper vultures.
Yeah, well, what Brant's going to do with you?
Morning, Chief. Hi, Kiv.
Hi.
What are those reporters doing outside?
Hand me your shield, Connors.
What?
I said hand me your shield. You're suspended on decision of the board.
But...
You heard me. You're going up on charges.
But, Brandt, give me a break.
Oh, give him a break, Captain. Break? Tell me, Connors. Where were you last night?
Well, I had a date.
At a bar, huh? With a dame you never saw before.
Well, we had a few drinks and...
And what happened after that?
Well, you see...
I'll tell you. You're the only one who doesn't seem to know because everybody else read it in this morning's paper. Strange dame got you dead drunk at a bar. Rode you for your gun when you passed out. Tried to stick up, shot the joint to splinters, and was collared still carrying your gun. Now you know, do you still expect a break?
Sure, I expect a break. In the first place, I was off duty at the time, and in the second place, I've been on the force 11 years.
And third place, if it was 111, Connors, I'd still bounce you and bounce you hard. You want to hand me that potsy of yours, or do I tear it off your chest?
Here. Add it to your collection, Captain Brandt.
I'm sorry about the verdict, Marty, but don't blame Brandt.
Oh, sure. Don't blame Brandt. Blame me. I'm the first cop ever gets drunk, huh? Brandt don't drink. You don't, huh?
Well,
Not a one of you knows what liquor smells like, I suppose. It's a laugh.
Oh, stop it, Marty. What are you going to do?
Going out to tie one on. What'd you think I was going to do?
What are you trying to prove? Oh, Marty, look, you didn't get jammed up because of a drink now and then. It was a dame. With you, it's always a dame. You lose your head, Marty. You let him make a sucker out of you.
Lay off, kid.
It's the truth,
I said lay off. Lay off.
Okay, then. Oh, Marty. Marty, let's not... I mean, you and me, we... How you fix for money?
I got enough. And pretty soon, maybe I'll have a lot more. Big bundles of it. I've already got a call from Doc Williamson and Max Shale.
What?
Nibble on that one, Kiv.
Marty, are you crazy? Steer clear of them.
Why? Show me why.
You know as well as I do. If you don't, well, just ask any of the boys on the narcotics squad. Oh, Marty, stop short, or I can see where you're headed just as plain as... Listen to me, Marty.
Go on.
No, listen to me. You tangle with Williamson and Shale, and no telling what can happen. One of us might one day have to go after you. It might be me.
You ain't on narcotics.
Narcotics and homicide don't mix, huh?
Mercy me. It gives his Sunday school. After the deal I got...
Look, if you'll only mark time for a while and not lose your head, the newspaper blast will die down, and I'm sure the commissioner will give you another...
Nuts to the commissioner and nuts to Brandt. This to him, look, all 5 fingers. And to you, Kivlan. And you stay away from me here. Stay away, I mean it. I'm going to go line up that job right now.
So you're Marty Connors, huh? I can use you.
I can be used.
It pays $150 a week. I need a guard. You know the setup Max and me are in. We got a nice club, nice customers. A lot of them rich. It attracts cheap guns. And they figure maybe they can knock the place over and take all the dough around the gambling tables. Now, you have a reputation for being hard. That might stop the trouble even before it begins. That would be part of your job.
And the other part?
I carry a lot of money and one or two other things. I want personal protection. Well?
It's a contract. Is that all I do? Don't I get in on the big stuff? Not the gambling, the big stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The dust, Doc, the dust. That's what pays off.
I still don't know what you're talking about. But when I think you're worth more, I'll see that you get a chance to earn it. Until then, don't let your nose get dirty. You know what I mean?
I'm a too-hanky man. Hey, who's the long-legged redhead at the piano? Do I get a chance to protect her, too?
I handle that myself. Leave it strictly alone. Understand?
Sure. I don't blame you. Not the least little bit. So I went to work as a stalker for Doc Williamson and Max Shale. I'd call for Doc every night at 1, take him to the club, and then walk around the tables, and that was all. Bottom of the heap for weeks. I wasn't making any headway in that direction, but I was in another. Rita, I learned her name was Rita. Sometimes she'd be there when I called for Doc, but I might have been collecting the laundry for all the attention she paid, until one time I rang Doc's doorbell, and she answered it.
Hello, big fella.
Tell Doc I'm here.
He's not in.
When will he be back?
Not soon. Maybe. Won't I do?
Didn't he leave word?
He didn't leave anything. Except me.
I'll wait for him in the lobby.
What's the matter, Marty? Don't you like me?
Mm-hmm. I like Doc's watch and chain, too, but I don't heist it.
Why not? You're big enough. Maybe you take better care of it than he does. Maybe he treats it bad, leaves it around lonesome in a satin-lined case. Don't you need a watch, Marty?
Well, you can't tell. Might come a day when I'll need the right time bad. I thought about that watch a lot the next few days. The next time I rang Doc's doorbell and she answered it and said,
Hello, big fella.
Tell Doc I'm here.
He's not in.
You lovely, lousy, long-legged redhead.
Marty, Doc will be back in a minute. Where can we meet? I gotta see you.
My place tomorrow?
Yeah, your place tomorrow. And the next day. And the next. Marty, I'm afraid of him. I'm afraid of him.
Right, of Doc, he's just a yellow slob.
I think he knows about you and me. We've been seeing each other the last few weeks. I'm scared. Marty, he beats me. Once he threatened to kill me.
Well, the next time he tries it, flash this. You'll see how quick he'll fall. Here, take it. It's only a little 25 automatic. Put it in your purse.
No.
Go on, take it. Do as I say. What? Hold it in reserve. He raises a finger to you, draw fast, and watch him retreat.
You know, I feel better already.
Sure. That's why they call you the old equalizer. Was it about me he threatened to kill you?
No.
Who, another big fella?
No, nothing like that. He once found me going through his bureau.
What's the secret? He wears a girdle? All right, then, don't tell me. Here, have another drink.
Marty, you know what Doc and Max do for the really big money?
Well, sure, they peddle dreams. That's no secret. Not really. Why?
You know the setup?
Yeah, I'm just an arm, a yard and a half a week arm.
Well, I know the setup. I'm the only one who does, aside from Doc and maybe Max.
Well, go on.
Max does most of the work. He's distributing the stuff, but he gets a smaller cut than Doc does. You know why?
Because before you can distribute the stuff...
You've got to have it to distribute. Doc's the buyer. He has the contacts all over the world. And guess where he keeps what he knows? The addresses, codes, shipping dates.
Well, how would I know?
In a little green notebook in a chamois bag hung around his neck. That's why he hired you, Marty. Oh, Marty. Marty, do you know what it could mean to us if we had that notebook?
Yeah. He wears it on him, huh?
Around his neck.
Rita, listen hard. This evening before I come to pick him up, snuggle up to him. See if you can feel that chamois bag. If he's wearing it, give me the nod when I call from at 1. Do you follow me?
Oh, yeah, Marty, I follow you. Maybe I'm even ahead of you.
I went up there at 1. I rang and rang, but no one answered. When I tried the knob, the door swung open. Rita wasn't there. But Doc was. He would never be deader. He was lying face down, what was left of the face, on the bedroom rug. The room still smelled of cordite. A .25 shell lay near his feet. His body was still warm. I know because I felt it when I reached for the chamois bag, which wasn't there.
For Suspense, Autolite is bringing you William Bendix in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Okay, Harlow, give us a lowdown. Did you invite Mary and me to the studio just to hear you talk about Autolite resistor spark plugs?
Talk about them? Why, by conniving Cornelius, we're going to celebrate them. Because, Hap, you have the honor of being present at the first birthday party of those super sensational Autolite resistor spark plugs.
Gee, Harlow, have you got a birthday cake,
Have
too?
I got a cake? Why, I've got a cake studded with Autolite resistor spark plugs instead of candles. Hey, pull the card off that nearest plug, Hap, and read what it says.
Let's see. It says, replace your narrow gap plugs with me if smoother idling you would see. If you want more miles to cost less money, cuddle up and be my honey. Signed, ALRSP. Guess who?
ALRSP, Autolite resistor spark plugs, of course. Try another one, Hap.
Many happy returns of the day, Autolite resistor spark plugs say. P.S. To cut down interference on your radio and television, see that your car is in. That's a rhyme?
Well, now, you wouldn't accuse me, would you?
I don't know.
Well, anyhow, Hap, now that we've had our fun, let's get back to Suspense.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage William Bendix as Marty Connors in Breakup, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I got out of Doc's apartment fast, left it just as I found it, him dead on the floor with the shell beside him. I had to find Rita. Poor kid, she'd really be in a mess now. Everybody knew she was Doc's girl. I had to locate her and the chamois bag. I took a cab to her flat and let myself in. No Rita. That meant I would have to go hunting, but not without a gun, not now. I went home to pick up my police positive. It was in my bureau drawer. And snuggling next to it among the socks was Rita's little .25, with one chamber empty and a smell sharp as incense. So I was being suckered again. Kivy. Oh, Kiv, you old son of a gun. Well, come in. Come on in. Can I fix you a drink, Kiv?
I ain't here as social, Marty.
No?
No. Remember I told you I might be sent after you one day? Well, I'm sent.
What are you talking about, Kiv?
The elevator boy found Doc dead a few minutes ago.
So?
So you're the only one he took down from that floor since 10 o'clock.
Well, Kiv, you know what to expect from a sleepy elevator kid.
Why ain't you with Doc tonight?
Well, it's my night off. Kiv, you don't really think I've turned killer?
Why not? Oh, by the way, I know about you and that redhead. Come on, let's go, Marty. Brant wants to talk to you.
Brant, huh? I should jump at that. I don't hop bells for Brant now, Kiv. You know that. As far as I'm concerned, you and
Shut
Brant
up,
both...
Marty.
You don't make me. If Brant wants to talk to me, he comes here with a warrant yet.
Then I'll have to take you.
If you want it, copper.
You drawing on
Stay
me?
where you are, Kiv. You ain't bringing me in.
You big ape. You're trying to nerve yourself up to it? Oh, Marty.
Back, Kiv.
A guy would think you meant it.
I do mean it. I swear I'll let you have...
Not you, Marty. Not an excuse.
That ought to keep your nose out of it for a while, Kiv.
6th floor, sir.
Huh? No. Okay.
Mr. Shale's apartment is just around there.
Thanks.
Max, Marty. Oh, Marty, I've been so worried about you. I've been sitting here down by inches, Marty. I didn't know.
A sweet frame you nailed together, a sweet one.
Is that what you think? Marty, honey, it wasn't. I swear it. I swear by all that's holy to me.
Such as what? $1 bill, maybe?
Marty, listen to me. When I got to the doctor, he was waiting for me. He knew all about it. He began to hit me. I did what you said, Marty. I took out your gun. My finger must have slipped.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a frame, Marty. I love you. Not the men would like me to say that to them, but I love you.
All right, stop it. I didn't mean to hurt you. Shh.
After I lost my head, I went to your place, but you weren't there. I put the gun in the drawer where I thought it would be safe, and I waited for you, but you didn't come. So I came here. I thought maybe Max would...
It's all right, baby. It's going to be all right. Now, shh, quiet. Let me have the chamois bag. Rita, the chamois bag. Let me have it.
I haven't got it, Marty. I didn't even look for it. I couldn't have touched him.
You're not lying to me now.
No.
It wasn't on him when I found him. He was clean. Rita, shh. Who would that be? Max, maybe?
Max would have come right in.
Who is it?
Elevator boy, sir.
What do you want?
It's the lady, Miss Carter, lost her gloves in the elevator.
You were wearing gloves?
I don't remember.
All right, boy, give him...
Hold it, Marty.
Kim!
Nothing fancy now, you're covered. Okay, son. Thanks. Get back to your elevator.
Yes, sir.
Back in, Marty. Go on, both of you. Get back in. Well, you've lost a lot of savvy since you left the squad, Marty. Taking that cab here from the hack stand in front of your place. Huh. Marty Connors and Doc's baby together. Well, the DA won't have much of a job with this one.
No, I don't know anything about
Easy,
it.
baby, easy. He's got nothing on you.
A copper gun, Ratsy. Who'd have figured it? Get away from that phone, Marty.
No sucker, Kiv. We're getting a lawyer. You got things to ask. Wait for him.
You move again without I say move, and I'll plug you.
You wouldn't, Kiv.
Try me. You're just a cheap hood, and I'm treating you like one. The palsy stuff is true. You'll see Brandt first, you and the girl, and then you can call a lawyer. Let me at that phone.
Drop it, Copper.
Huh?
You're covered.
Max. Oh, Max.
Hand him, chick. Make sure he's clean. Okay, Marty. Relax.
This'll get you nothing but tears and moans, Shale.
Is he clean, chick? Okay, cold cock him.
Oh!
All right, now. What's it all about?
Well, when I called for Doc tonight...
I'll get to you in a minute, Marty. Talk, Rita.
Doc's dead.
Good. Who did it?
I did. He showed fight when I told him to hand over the notebook.
Rita, you...
Shut up. Go ahead.
That's all. Except, here's the notebook.
Ah, nice going, baby. Got it at last.
Rita, you've been stringing along with him?
Sure she has. If it's any of your business, which it ain't.
You lousy redhead.
What's he so heated about?
Well, I used his gun and planted it on him.
You gave her your gun for the job? That guy's getting to be a habit with you.
Frame spotting the frame and then talked out of the spot by a lousy redhead.
Forget it, Marty. The frame is out. I need an arm like you now that Doc is dormy. All sorts of guys will get ideas about moving into the business. Look, here's the pitch. You gave Doc your gun last night because he asked for it. He was afraid of something. He didn't say what. That's your story. Stick to it. I'll set up an alibi for you for the rest of it. Leave it to me. Okay?
Okay. You lousy redhead.
What does this copper know?
Too much.
We dump him right now.
You can't. Well, he came in with the elevator boy.
Chick, take care of it. Baby, you're leaving town in a hurry before they grab you. Start packing.
All right, Maxie.
Now, give me a hand with the cop, Marty. We'll take him out the back way. I said, give me a hand, Marty. Going to play it smart or not?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, Max. I'm going to play it smart.
Well, I'm still waiting for your answer, Marty. I've been waiting all the way across the bridge. Cut hard to the left here. Now. Hey, when you cut hard, don't you? How's Kivelin, chick? Nice and dark, ain't it, Marty? Yeah, this'll do. Pull up here. Cut the lights. I guess we're ready. Well, Marty? Chick'll do it if you won't. Okay. Stay a small-time hood. Chick, roll out the cop.
Wait a minute, Max. Kivelin is...
Kivelin goes. You don't pull that stuff, Marty. It's too late.
Not Kivelin, Max.
Chick, roll him out.
Max!
Take your hand out of your pocket, chump. We're 2 guns to your 1. You're with me now, or else you go with Kivelin.
Not Kivelin, Max!
Chick, get him!
Kiv, are you all right?
Yeah, okay, Marty. Didn't touch me. You?
I'm okay. Help me get Max's overcoat off. I'm cold. He don't need it no more anyway. Let's dump them both in the back seat.
Okay.
That does it. You want to take the wheel, Kiv?
Yeah, sure. Oh, this is almost like old times, Marty. You and me together.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to have to take you in to see Brant.
It's a good trick if you can swing it.
Huh?
I told you, if Brant wants to see me, let him come.
Marty! How's he going to be, Doc?
Matter of minutes. If Captain Brant wants to talk to him at all.
I phoned him. He should be here now.
Kiv.
Right here, Marty, right here. You're going to be okay, Charles.
Kiv. I heard the doc. Where's the top coat I was wearing? The one I took off Max.
Oh, yeah. It's right here, Marty.
Yeah,
here it is.
There's a little notebook in one of the pockets. Narcotics ought to see it right away. Yeah, that one.
Holy cow. Marty, you know what this is? What's in it?
Hello, Marty.
You see, kid, I told you Brant would have to come to me if he wanted to see.
Marty!
He can't hear you.
He gave me this, Captain. You know what it is? It would have put him right back on the force.
He was never off it.
What?
That's right. It was a plant, right from the time he let the dame shoot up the saloon with his gun.
You planted him with that gang?
Don't look at me like that, Kiv. It was a good idea and it worked, and I ain't ashamed of having thought of it. It was the only way to get the goods on these dope runners.
Yeah, but
As for Marty, well, he was a good cop. And after all, this is what he was paid for.
Thank you, William Bendix, for a splendid performance. Mr. Bendix will return in just a moment.
Well, I don't know. Have you got any more birthday banter about Autolite resistor spark plugs?
No banter, Hap, just facts. For the fact is, those wide gap Autolite resistor spark plugs are wonderful. They're sensational. They're ignition engineered. And there's a type for every make of car. Why, by Cornelius, everyone ought to switch to a set of Autolite resistor spark plugs right away. And now, Hap, here's one more rousing spark plug rhyme. Let's read it together.
Okay.
You can tell the difference in your car with Autolite resistor spark plugs, Dar. Well, Hap, you certainly ought to remember this Autolite resistor spark plug birthday. And friends, here's something for everyone to remember. Autolite means spark plugs.
Ignition-engineered resistor spark plugs.
Autolite means batteries.
Stay full batteries.
Autolite means ignition system.
The lifeline of your car.
And now here again is William Bendix.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to appear on Suspense. This is probably every actor's favorite program, and I know that... Help! Help! Let me out! Hey, there's someone in that closet. Well, Jack Benny, what are you doing in there?
Oh, hello, Bill. I'm glad somebody let me out.
Oh, I don't get it. What's the idea, Jack?
Well, you see, Bill, I'm moving my program to CBS Sunday nights, and I thought I'd drop in and look over the studio, pick one out. And then all of a sudden, all that shooting started, and I hid in the closet.
Oh, well, I'm sure glad you didn't stop any of those bullets, Jack. We all want to hear you next Sunday night on CBS. Your program has always been on my must list, along with Suspense.
Well, thanks, Bill. By the way, what about next week's Suspense?
Next week, radio's outstanding theater of thrills presents Gene Kelly and Ethel Barrymore in To Find Help. Another gripping study in...
Bill, wait a minute, Bill. Let me say it, will you?
Huh?
You know, that one word. Let me say it.
Well, sure, Jack. Next week, hear Gene Kelly and Ethel Barrymore in To Find Help. Another gripping study in...
Suspense. Who said I can't do grammar?
William Bendix appears through the courtesy of his own radio show, The Life of Riley, sponsored by Prell, and will soon be seen in the Paramount picture, The Streets of Laredo. Wally Mayer was heard as Kivlahan. Tonight's suspense play was adapted for radio by Joseph Ruskall and Walter Newman from the original story by Thomas Walsh. Music was composed by Lucian Morawek and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The entire production was under the direction of Anton M. Leader. In the coming weeks, Suspense will present such stars as Danny Kaye, Robert Montgomery, Dana Andrews, and many others. Make it a point to listen each Thursday to Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills. And next Thursday, same time, hear Gene Kelly and Ethel Barrymore in To Find Help.
This is the Autolite Suspense Show. Take advantage of high prices for steel scrap. Turn in yours to your local scrap dealer. Good night. Happy New Year from Autolite.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And now stay tuned for the program that has rated tops in popularity for a longer period of time than any other West Coast program in radio history. The Signal Oil program, The Whistler, transcribed by the Signal Oil Company for New Year's, to enable the entire production staff of The Whistler to spend New Year's Day at home with their families. Signal, the famous Go Farther gasoline, invites you to sit back and enjoy another strange story by The Whistler. For extra driving pleasure, the signal to look for is the yellow and black circle sign that identifies Signal service stations from Canada to Mexico. And for Sunday evening listening pleasure, the signal to listen for is this whistle that identifies the Signal Oil program, The Whistler.
I am a whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night.
I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now for the Signal Oil Company, the Whistler's Strange Story. Evening Stroll.
Rumor, gossip. No matter how idly begun, they often come to a violent conclusion. Its pernicious content can twist and distort the mildest of deeds, until with a deadly force fed and made strong by repetition, its weight can smash lives. The venom of rumor, gossip, is always around. Defense against it is pitifully inadequate, and no one is immune. Not even Professor Malcolm Dunn on New Year's Eve, strolling across the darkened campus, puffing quietly on his pipe. At the moment, he seemed pleased with the way things had turned out. The rather embarrassing session a few days ago with Dean Wilson was forgotten, and his thoughts were only of the future, his future at the university. At the library, he paused, debated for a moment if he should turn here and take the shortcut home. Perhaps it was because he wanted more time to be alone, more time to savor the prospects of a bright future, that he decided against the shortcut, even though it was getting late, and continued along the tree-lined street, entered the residential district of the university town.
Oh, Professor! Professor!
Oh, Miss Crandall. Miss.
Hi. Mind if I walk along with you?
Of course not.
Isn't it a wonderful night?
Yeah.
Cool, crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Just think, in another few hours, a new year will be with us.
On your way to a little celebration?
I just left one. Horribly dull, really.
Oh?
I may not even go back. Jerry's in one of those moods again.
Jerry?
Jerry Hayes. He's just a friend. He took me to the party. We had words.
So you decided to take a walk?
That's right. Professor.
Yes?
I heard Dean Wilson had you in for a long talk the other day.
That's right, Midge.
About me?
About you.
I'm sorry I caused you so much trouble. But I'm not sorry I ever fell in love with you.
Midge, I'm old enough to be your...
Please don't say that.
But you don't understand.
Some things I do, Professor. For instance, this one-sided romance isn't any good. I've cost you nothing but trouble. I realize you can't afford to get mixed up with any of your students.
It isn't as though I've given you any encouragement. True, we've seen quite a bit of each other.
You've been very proper about the whole thing all along. It's my fault, all of it. I admit that. But I can't help it. I'm in love with you.
It's very flattering, Midge, but...
Still, you wish I weren't so obvious about the whole thing.
Well...
I've never once told anyone that you were in love with me.
I believe you, Midge. But don't you see, there are some people who take a thing like this, gossip it around. The rumors begin to spread. First thing, there's a nice scandal.
It's already started, hasn't it? I mean, that's why the dean wanted to talk to you.
I don't mind telling you that session with the dean was more than a little embarrassing.
I'm terribly sorry.
Well, it's all over now. I've explained everything to his satisfaction, I'm sure.
All this hasn't ruined everything for you, has it?
Hmm?
I mean, you're taking over the history department when Professor Ferris leaves next month.
No, thank heaven. This new position is very important to me, Midge. To my wife, too. It means a great deal to both of us.
It means a lot to me, too. I hope I'm around when it happens.
What do you mean?
I'm leaving the university.
Oh, you are?
Yes, going to New York. The Coyle of the theater, you know. Father has a friend who's a producer. And, well, it'll be a small part to begin with.
I'm sorry you're going to leave us.
Are you? Really?
Of course. But I'm certain you'll become a very great actress someday.
Thank you. People say I'm acting all the time anyway. Well, here's my apartment house.
I'll see you to the door.
Oh, well, how do you like that? No key. I've locked myself out again.
Sure it isn't in your purse there?
No. Now, How am I going to get in? The house manager's at a party. Probably won't be home for hours.
Well, you just can't sit out here all night. Isn't there some way we...
There is. My apartment's around back, on the ground floor. The screen on the bedroom window's used. Trouble is, I'm not very good at climbing through windows. If somehow you... Oh, no, I couldn't ask you.
Well, when a lady's in distress...
Oh, thanks, Professor. We'll go in the front way here. The lobby doors are always unlocked.
You follow Midge into the apartment house, down the long corridor, and out to the back of the building. With little effort, you manage to remove the screen from a bedroom window, climb over the sill, and drop into the darkened apartment.
Right. The light switch is in the alcove, straight ahead.
I'll find it.
You all right, Professor?
Yes, so. You forgot to warn me about the coffee table.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be right in.
You make your way slowly across the room and finally find the light switch. You open the hall door, return to the window, and replace the screen as Midge steps into the apartment and closes the door behind her.
You're a lifesaver, Professor. Hurt yourself on the coffee table?
Fractured a few bones, that's all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, and look, you've got dust all over your coat.
No harm done.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure. Looks like a stain of some sort. Why don't you take your coat off, Professor? I'll get some cleaning fluid.
Oh, don't bother.
Oh, no bother, really. It'll only take a minute.
Well, all right. There we are.
Just drop it on the chair there.
Okay.
No, what? Excuse me a moment, Professor.
Hello, Midge.
Oh, Jerry.
I'm sorry I acted the way I did, Midge. I guess you had every right to walk out on me. I see you have company.
Yes. Now, can't we discuss what happened at the party some other time, Jerry?
Sure we can. Guess maybe I wasn't so wrong after all, huh? Maybe those rumors...
Jerry, please.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, Midge. Good night, Professor Dunn.
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor, but... Jerry, he's such a child.
Midge, that quarrel you had with Jerry at the party tonight, have anything to do with me?
Well, yes, in a way.
Look, he seems like a nice sort of chap. Why don't you call him back?
No, I'll see him tomorrow. Now, do sit down, Professor.
Midge.
Yes?
Mind telling me something?
Uh-uh.
Did you really lock yourself out tonight?
What do you think, Professor?
I think I'd better be running home. Good morning, Mrs. Dunn.
Oh, morning, Malcolm. Breakfast will be ready in a moment.
Fine. Say, I must have been asleep when you came in last night, Claire. How was the party?
Oh, very nice. Madame Olson was so disappointed you didn't come, but I explained you just couldn't.
Good.
You go to bed early?
No. I worked for a few hours. Then I went out for a walk. A long walk. By the way, Mrs. Dunn, how about a kiss for a Happy New Year for your husband,
Happy New Year to you, Professor. Now you sit down. Read your paper. Oh, Malcolm.
Yes?
Isn't Midge Crandall one of your students?
Why, yes. She is.
Her picture's there on the front page.
What? Why, so it is.
Someone shot her last night at her apartment.
Shot her?
Yes, they take her to the hospital. They don't know if she'll live or not.
Because this is New Year's Day, Signal Oil Company has asked me to skip the regular message about Signal gasoline in order to bring you a few extra chuckles with these limericks. Mrs. Don Bonaquista of Phoenix, Arizona will start her new year with a $20 Signal gasoline book for this limerick. Like the man on a flying trapeze, you can drive with the greatest of ease. If you'll only be smart and right from the start, say, fill it with Signal gas, please. Signal gasoline. Your car will go far with no other gasoline. Tonight's second $20 Signal gasoline book goes to Mrs. Rod Doobie of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, for this limerick. A man with a love for smooth driving found his car needed reviving. He tried Signal gas, and now he can pass all road tests without even striving. Signal gasoline. Your car will go far with no other gasoline. We regret that we couldn't start the new year for all of you with a $20 Signal gasoline book, but we do hope that happy, safe driving will fill your new year with miles of smiles.
It's a shock, isn't it, Professor? Your hands tremble as you hold the morning newspaper. Stare down at the photograph of Midge Crandall on the front page. The story is all there. The shooting at her apartment. And as you read through the first few paragraphs, you realize it must have happened only a short time after you left the girl's apartment. Your first impulse is to pick up the phone and call the police. Tell them you were with Midge Crandall last night at her apartment. But suddenly you realize it won't help the police find the guilty person. It would only involve you as well as other innocent people needlessly. And after your conversation with Dean Wilson a few days ago concerning Midge, the gossip about the two of you, you know you can't afford to become involved in the shooting. Somehow you manage to get through breakfast, and then afterward you leave the house and go for a long walk. You need time to think, don't you? Perhaps in some way you can assist the police and help them find out who shot Midge. Then as you're strolling along the walk in front of the science building, one of the students joins you.
Say, Professor, you heard about the shooting last night?
Yes, I heard about it, Bill.
Sure knocked me for a loop. I know Midge pretty well. He's a nice kid. Tough. A real tough break.
Yes, it is.
Too bad that Simpson guy didn't get a better look at the man who was with Midge.
The Simpson?
Who was it? He was sitting in a parked car right across the street from Midge's apartment, waiting for somebody. He told police he remembered seeing a man going into the building with Midge.
I see.
I didn't give much of a description of the guy. Medium build, slender, well-dressed. Said he might recognize him if he saw him again, though. Well, here's where I turn off, Professor. See ya.
Yes. Yes, of course, Bill.
Happy New Year, Professor. Hey, Jerry, wait up, fella.
Jerry. The sound of that name spins you around, doesn't it, Professor? You watch Bill join another youngster, see them hurry across the campus toward the village. But he isn't the Jerry you're thinking of, is he? Suddenly you remember the young man who was at the door of Midge's apartment last night. Jerry Hayes, the young man who saw you there with Midge. And you wonder why he hasn't been to the police to tell them about it.
Hello?
May I speak with Jerry Hayes, please?
Yeah, just a sec. Hey, you guy. Pipe down, will you? I can't hear a thing. What was that again?
Is Jerry Hayes there?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hold on. Hey, yeah, for you. Who is it? It's me. Hello?
Jerry, this is Professor Dunn.
Oh. Hello?
I'd like to talk to you, Jerry.
I figured you would.
Where could we meet?
Place you say.
The path at the far end of the athletic field in 10 minutes. Is that all right?
Okay.
It's a good question, Professor. Why didn't I go to the cops, huh? Suppose I ask you the same.
Listen, Jerry.
Sort of an embarrassing question, isn't it?
Why haven't you told them that I was there in the apartment?
Why haven't you? Something holding you back? Sure. And I know just what it is.
Do you?
Look, Professor, I don't want to get mixed up in this any more than you do. Why not forget about it?
Suppose Midge died.
It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good at all. But we keep our mouths shut. I didn't see you. You didn't see me.
I don't know, Jerry. I don't think that'd be right.
I don't think there's anything for you to worry about, Professor. According to the newspapers, the police haven't found any clear prints on the gun.
Is that you, Malcolm?
Yes, Claire.
Quite a walk you took. I'm glad you're back home, Malcolm. There was a call for you.
Oh?
Dean Wilson's housekeeper called. Said to tell you he wanted you to come over.
Now?
Well, she sounded like it was rather important.
I see.
Come in, Professor Dutton, come in.
Thank you, Mr. Stroll.
The Dean is in his study. I'm sure he'll see you in a few minutes. The lieutenant shouldn't be with him much longer.
The lieutenant?
Yes, Lieutenant Franklin, Police Department. They're in there with Mr. Simpson.
Simpson? He's the man who...
The witness. Police think the man Mr. Simpson saw last night might be the one who tried to kill Miss Crandall. Oh, isn't it terrible, Professor? That poor girl. I understand she's still in a coma.
Thank you very much, Dean Wilson. Sorry we had to take up the rest of your time. Quite all right, Lieutenant. Can't overlook anything, you know. Very much to go on. Simpson here and I'll sort of roam around, if you don't mind. Of course not. With luck, we might spot our man.
Quickly, you turn your back to them, Professor. Stare out the window. You want to run, don't you? But your legs refuse to act. And you pray that Simpson doesn't notice you.
Well, thanks again. Goodbye, Lieutenant. Now, let's go, Simpson. Oh, and there you are, Malcolm.
Afternoon, sir.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
I just got here a moment ago.
Come in. Terrible business, that. Terrible. You heard, Malcolm? You think the man who shot Miss Crandall is here on our campus?
Yes, I heard. Any definite leads?
No. Unfortunately, the witness Simpson hasn't been able to give a good description of the man we saw go into the apartment building with the girl.
Does Mr. Simpson think he can identify the man if he sees him again?
He seems to think so. Yes. I, for one, certainly hope he's right. This thing must be solved, Malcolm. They've got to find that man.
Yes, of course.
Well, let's get on with it. I want to discuss several matters with you, Malcolm, about your new position. Hope you don't mind my calling you over today.
Oh, of course not.
Professor Ferris will be leaving earlier than we expected. So it's important we get to these things as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
For the remainder of the afternoon, you sit with Dean Wilson in his study. He's talking about your new position with the university. But your mind isn't on it, Professor. You keep thinking about the police lieutenant and the witness, Simpson. They're on the campus now, looking for the man who was with Miss Crandall last night. And you wonder how long you'll be able to stay out of their way. Finally, when you leave the Dean, your mind is made up. You've reached a decision, haven't you? Yes. And there's only one thing you can do.
Yeah, what? Oh, hello, Professor. Come on in.
No, thanks. I just stopped by to see if Jerry Hayes was in.
Oh, no, he's down in the village. Well, he'll be back soon.
I see. Will you tell him I must see him immediately? It's very important.
Oh, sure, Professor.
Have him come to my house, 423 Oak Road.
Okay, I'll tell him.
You've made up your mind, haven't you, Professor? Hiding from the police isn't going to solve anything. Instead of helping them, you're wasting valuable time, throwing them off the track, while the guilty person remains at large. At your home, as you wait for Jerry to arrive, the nervousness has gradually left you, hasn't it? You're strangely calm, ready to face whatever happens. Then, as a battered convertible stops in front of your house and Jerry steps out, you dial police headquarters and ask for Lieutenant Franklin.
Yes, Professor Dunn?
Lieutenant, I have some information. It's about the Midge Crandall shooting.
Oh?
Would you come to my house right away? 423 Oak Road.
All right. I'll be there
Malcolm,
Oh, yes, Claire. What is it?
did I hear you just call the police?
That's right.
You said something about Midge Crandall.
Excuse me. That's Jerry Hayes. I'll let him in.
Malcolm, what's this all about?
I'll explain in a moment, Claire.
How are you, Professor?
Come in, Jerry.
Well, Mrs. Dunn?
How are you, Jerry? How's Janet? I haven't seen her in ages.
Oh, she's fine.
Janet?
Jerry's aunt is an old school chum of mine, Malcolm.
Never would have gotten into the university here if it hadn't been for the two of them, Professor. Guess I owe Janet and Mrs. Dunn a lot.
I see.
Now, Malcolm, what's this all about?
Yeah, what's up, Professor?
Jerry, I've called the police. They may not believe I had nothing to do with the shooting, but...
The police? Wait a minute, I thought we...
It's no use, Jerry. I want you to tell them all you know about this Midge Crandall affair.
Even that I saw your wife there?
What?
That's right, Chief.
You mean you want me to tell the police I saw Mrs. Dunn come running out of Midge's apartment house last night?
Claire.
I admit it, Malcolm. I was there. I was the one.
New Year's Day is an appropriate day to take stock of one's blessings. So we of the Signal Oil Organization would like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation to all of you who have given us so much for which to be thankful. To you loyal Whistler fans whose continued preference for Signal products has helped us grow from a small start in one state into an organization serving 6 western states, we are genuinely grateful. To independent Signal dealers whose conscientious service has helped so much to keep customers and their cars happy, we are mighty appreciative. So that all of us in the Signal Oil family may continue to merit your friendship and your business, you can count on us to pursue our policy of making every Signal product and Signal service always finer and more complete. Throughout the new year, as for the past 19 years, we shall do everything in our power to make your stops at Signal stations, as well as your miles behind the wheel, happy ones.
It came as a staggering blow, didn't it, Professor? Your wife's admission that she had shot Midge Crandall. Yes, you'd been afraid to get in touch with the police because it meant admitting that you had been there in the apartment yourself. And you knew it would start the gossip again and involve other innocent people. Yet finally you decided to face the consequences. Tell the police that you were the man the witness Simpson had seen. So you'd call Lieutenant Franklin, asked him to come to your house. Then too late you learned that your wife, Claire, had shot Midge.
You've got to believe me, Malcolm. I swear I didn't mean to do it.
Claire, why did you go over there?
I'd heard talk about you and Midge. I just had to see her. But she admitted it was all wrong, her fault, that she'd been very foolish.
Yes, but...
She kept telling me how much she loved you, and yet she couldn't have you. And then she picked up the gun. Malcolm, I didn't know what to do, the way she acted. I suddenly got the crazy idea she was going to kill us.
Oh, Claire, you don't know Midge. She was putting on an act.
I had to stop her. And when I tried to take the gun away, it went off. Oh, Malcolm, I didn't mean for her to get shot. I wouldn't have harmed that girl for the world.
But you ran. You left her.
I got outside the door of the apartment before I realized she might die if I didn't do something. And then I heard someone running down the hall. I knew the shot had attracted attention. But she'd be found immediately. Malcolm, and the police.
Look, Mrs. Dunn, they don't know you were there. You didn't mean to shoot Midge. We don't have to tell them a thing.
Wait a minute.
Jerry's supposed.
Good evening, Professor.
Come in, Lieutenant. Lieutenant, my wife, Jerry Hayes.
How do you do? Now, Professor, you said over the phone something about the...
Yes. Jerry here saw a woman hurry out of Miss Crandall's apartment house last night.
A woman? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So he saw a woman. The Simpson saw a man.
But, Lieutenant...
A lot of people went in and out of that building last night. It doesn't mean a thing.
What?
Miss Crandall came out of her coma a few minutes ago. Oh, she's going to be all right.
Oh, that's great. She's a wonderful girl.
Yeah. She was worried for fear we think one of her boyfriends had done it. Actually, it was just another one of those I didn't know the gun was loaded cases. Miss Crandall told us she shot herself. by accident. Let that whistle be your signal for the Signal Oil program, The Whistler, each Sunday night at this same time. Brought to you by the Signal Oil Company, marketers of Signal gasoline and motor oil, and fine automotive accessories. Remember, if you would like the fun of having your friends hear a limerick of yours on The Whistler, the address to which to send it is the Signal Oil Company, Los Angeles 55, California. All limericks become the property of the Signal Oil Company. Those selected for use on The Whistler will be chosen by our advertising representatives on the basis of humor, suitability, and originality. So, of course, they must be your own composition. Featured in tonight's transcribed story were Donald Woods, Barbara Eiler, Mary Lansing, and Gil Stratton, Jr. The Whistler was produced and directed by George W. Allen, with story by Steve Hampton, music by Wilbur Hatch, and was transmitted to our troops overseas by the Armed Forces Radio Service. The Whistler is entirely fictional, and all characters portrayed on The Whistler are also fictional. Any similarity of names or resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Remember, at the same time next Sunday, another strange tale by The Whistler.
S-I-G-N-A-L, Signal gasoline.
And now again, on behalf of Signal Oil Company and the independent dealers who serve you, I want to express the hope that you have enjoyed your holidays and that your new year will be filled with peace, prosperity, and the good health with which to enjoy the many blessings in the good old USA. Marvin Miller speaking for the Signal Oil Company.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You, finding life rather dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you Escape.
Escape with us now to a placid English village and the company of an equally placid little man who one day shook the world, as H.G. Wells told it in his delightful story, The Man Who Could Work Miracles.
Now, I might say right in the beginning that I ain't the kind of chap who has a naturally argumentative disposition. Oh, no, quite the contrary. I'm a reasonable man who always takes proper thought before he speaks, and one who has a due respect for scientific truth. Why, I ain't never opened my mouth to utter a word that wasn't a pure, undiluted fact.
That's what you say.
Howsoever, when a man of inferior intellect, such as Toddy Bemis has showed himself to be more than once, when a man like that insists upon airing his ridiculous opinions in a public place such as the Long Dragon Bar, then I've got no choice but to confound him with the superior knowledge which I possesses.
So you say.
That's right, so I say. And if you can't contribute nothing but the same three words to this discussion, I'll thank you to admit you're defeated and shut your mouth.
Well, now, Mr. Fotheringay.
Easy, lads, easy does it. Well, I ask you, Constable. I'm only trying to enlighten the man from the bog of ignorance he's a-floundering in, and he keeps coming up with his infernal, so you say. Well, I'm a-wasting me words, that's all.
If Ponce had half and half flowed across this bar the way words do, then I'd have retired years ago.
Speaking of half and half, I'll have another of the same if you don't mind, Miss Bridges.
Right you are, Constable.
By all rights, Toddy Beamish, I shouldn't be wasting my time on you. But out of the goodness of my heart, I'll do it anyhow.
Suit yourself.
Now, Let's take, for example, that pint of ale that you're holding in your hand.
It's pretty nigh empty.
Well, now, supposing, for instance, if that ale was to turn into wine.
I never cared much for wine. Always liked ale better.
Now, if that ale was to turn into wine, then you'd have a miracle.
So you say.
So anybody says. Or take that master padlock on Miss Bridges' cash box. Now, if anyone could open that without a proper key, that'd be a ruddy miracle.
You need the long bragging out of this.
Well, perhaps you ain't even aware of the proper definition of what a miracle is, Mr. Beamish.
Well, some is one kind and some is another, in a manner of speaking.
If anybody left so much as tuppence on the bars of tip, that'd be a miracle, all right.
Well, be that as it may. But a miracle ain't of one kind or another, oh no. A true miracle is something contrariwise to the course of nature, done by the power of will. Something what couldn't happen without being specially willed to happen. And miracles ain't possible.
That is a lad, is, you know.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say they ain't.
It's your ignorance that's talking. Now, look, you see that lamp sitting there on the end of the bar, burning as bright as you please?
I see it right in there.
Well, now, that lamp in the natural course of nature couldn't burn like that if it was turned upside down and hanging in the air.
You say it couldn't.
Mr. Beamish, do you mean to tell me...
All right, maybe it couldn't.
And if it did, that would be a miracle. Very well. Now, supposing somebody was to come along, take me, for instance, and he pointed his finger at that lamp like this and said, turn upside down. Now, if it...
Turning there without no visible means of support.
Oh, I can't keep it up there much longer.
Remarkable, it's highly remarkable.
Stop it now, Mr. Fotheringay. Stop it immediately. That's my official order.
Oh, look out, Constable. Look out, there it goes.
Now see what you've done, Mr. Fotheringay. My best lamp chimney, clean no more than an hour ago, smashed to smithereens.
But I didn't try to do it.
Oh, you know, you might have caught the place afire.
Most irregular. And illegal besides, like as not. No more of it now. Do you understand?
But I tell you, I didn't mean for it.
You and your silly conjuring tricks.
But all I done was to point my finger at it like that.
There, stop it now. Don't you dare.
Well, that's all I've done.
In that case, Mr. Fotheringay, you defeat your own argument right out of your own mouth.
And how is that, might I ask?
If it weren't caused by some form of trickery, then what happened to that lamp was a miracle.
Now, then, I ain't a holding with no blooming miracles.
Hold with him or not, as the case may be, Mr. Fotheringay. But you just stood right there and performed a real, true, honest, genuine miracle.
It weren't a matter of being asked to leave the Long Dragon, you understand. I'd already had my mind set on going anyhow. A place what's full of ignorant superstition ain't the kind of place for a man of rational intellect to be doing his thinking in. And thinking was just what was called for. On the one hand, I wasn't ready to swallow no miracle theory, but on the other hand, I wasn't able to recollect no scientific principle that might account for that which had occurred. As you might say, the question had dissolved itself into a dilemma. Well, my landlady, Mrs. Tetherington, was sitting up in the parlour when I come in.
Good evening, Mr. Fotheringay.
But I can't recall saying anything to her.
Very well, Mr. Fotheringay.
I went straight to my own room, closed my door, and lit the candle. Then I sat on the edge of my bed, grappling with the problem in a heroic fashion and trying to puzzle out the ultimate solution. Well, now, that wasn't no easy thing to do. It couldn't have happened, but it had happened. Which ain't logic, no matter how you look at it. Why, it'd be the same situation if I was to point my finger at that candle there and say, be raised up in the air. Blimey. Hanging there like a blooming firefly. But it's contrariwise. There it goes. No, now, laugh as you're at. Oh, dear, now, where in the tarnation did that confounded thing get to? Well, at any rate, there should be some matches around here somewhere. Oh, here. Maybe I could... Yes. Let there be a match in me hand. Well, now, just like that. Oh, there's a safety match. Not a blooming good that's going... Oh, dear, half a Mona. Maybe I don't need a match. Maybe I could... Yeah. Candle, wherever you are, be lighted. Here now, not in the middle of my bed. None of that now. Well, open it up. It isn't locked.
Mr. Fotheringay, might I inquire what's going on up here?
Can't you recognise a man who's got his hands full of troubles?
Mr. Fotheringay, why is smoke coming out of that bed?
Because it caught on fire, that's why.
My wall comforter with all burned in it. Taking lighted candles to bed with you indeed.
I'm not taking no candles nowhere, and I'll thank you to leave me the privacy of my own bedchamber.
You've been drinking.
On the contrary, I've been cogitating upon matters of science, which is far beyond the range of your feeble intellect.
Well...
Mrs. Tetherington, I might remind you that good steady rumours, such as a man like myself, ain't so easy to come by nowadays. With which I will bid you a highly, a respectful, a good a night.
Well...
Well, old vulture. Don't know who she's talking to. Me. A bloke what's only got to point his finger and say, "B?" And it is. Oh, blimey. If I ain't suddenly got the power to perform miracles. Real, genuine miracles.
Escape, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, returns in just a moment. Tomorrow, New Year's Day, CBS will bring you exclusively the broadcast of the Rose Bowl game between the University of Michigan and the University of California. Don't miss this colorful, exciting event, the Rose Bowl game. Michigan, the Western Conference champions, against California, fighting for the West Coast's first victory in the present series. It'll be here tomorrow, New Year's Day, on most of these same CBS stations. And now, back to Escape.
Well, next evening after work, I went walking down the lane that leads around Millsdale's Pond, attempting to put me mental processes into order, as you might say. Mostly, I kept trying to cogitate on some honest-to-Betsy miracle that I might up and perform. But it ain't such an easy matter for a chap who's unaccustomed to goings-on of that nature. No, what I wanted was the genuine article. You understand? No little shenanigans, but one to make people stop and say, "Blimey now, if that ain't a real downright miracle for you." And then, all of a sudden, I had it. I just happened to recollect a chap somewhere who stuck his staff in the ground and commanded it to blossom. So, I poked my walking stick into the edge of the turf. I backed off a wee bit, and I pointed my finger at it and said, "Walking stick, become a blooming bush of flowering posies." Roses, by heaven. I done it, just like that fellow in the opera.
Now then, what's all this here?
Oh, Constable Winch, confound that man anyhow.
Cease and desist, whatever it is, in the name of the law.
Hey, yeah, you there, Rosebush, go back now, fast.
Have a mind there who it is you threw in Bramblebush as that. There.
Oh, confounded, blundering idiot.
Who's conducting nefarious activities under the cover of darkness, assaulting an officer engaged in the pursuit of his natural...
Well, so it's you, Mr. Fotheringay.
The fact being self-evident, Mr. Winch, I will not bother myself to answer.
So you'll not bother yourself to answer, eh? And maybe you'll also deny that you just threw a great heavy mass of foliage at me?
I do deny it.
Then no doubt it just up and flew through the air, all by itself.
Constable Winch, you have just hit the ruddy nail right on the head.
Some more of them blasted hanky-pank conjuring tricks of yours. Is that it?
On the contrary, it was merely a small miracle.
You don't say so. In which case, His Honour might enjoy hearing you tell about it. So come along.
I'll do nothing of the sort.
Resisting an officer. That'll be another charge against you.
Charge, indeed. Mr. Winch, you can take your charges and go to Hades. Constable. Mr. Winch. Oh, blimey, if he ain't gone and disappeared complete like. Now, I wonder if he... Yeah, I'm thinking this miracle business is a bit touchy. Why, a man might find himself in a whole peck of trouble before he learns the knack of the thing. Oh, I'd better go and get myself some real professional advice right away.
Oh, good evening to you, friend. A very pleasant evening to you.
And the same to you as many of them, Mr. Maydig. That is, your reverendship.
Oh, no formality, no. None at all. You just call me Mr. Maydig.
Oh, well, now, thank you kindly, your Maydigship.
Won't you step inside?
Much obliged to you, Mr. Reverendship.
This way, Mr. I can't say that I caught the name.
Fotheringay. A George, a W, a Fotheringay.
Ah, yes. Not from my parish.
Well, yes, I attended services last Christmas.
Indeed. So many people did last Christmas. Well, here we are, Mr. Fotheringay. Take a chair.
It's a Fotheringay.
Oh, no, not that one. It's weak. I've often thought of doing something about it. Sometime. Yes, that one's fine.
Well, if you remind me before I leave, Mr. Mayship, and I'll put that little piece of furniture to rights for you.
Oh, then you're a carpenter.
Well, only in a manner of speaking, as you might say.
Well, now, Mr. Fotheringay, feel entirely free to lay your burdens upon my shoulders.
Well, the fact is, the matter which I come here to talk about might be considered of a somewhat a delicate nature.
Oh, think nothing of it. Please feel free to speak, freely. My housekeeper retires very early.
Oh, no, your reverendship. Nothing like that.
Well, then, like what?
Well, the subject about which I'm inquiring is miracles.
Miracles, yes, indeed. Miracles? Any special kind of miracles?
Oh, yes. The kind which I performs myself.
I see. And what sort of miracles do you perform?
Well, for one thing, I've just finished sending Constable Winch to Hades.
Hades? Indeed.
Of course, when I realised what had happened, I had him transferred to San Francisco, wherever that is.
I'm sure he'll like San Francisco much better.
I see you don't believe me. I can't say I blame you either.
Well, after all, Mr. Fotheringay.
Fotheringay? Well, very well, there's nothing else to do but for me to up and perform a few miracles before we go any further.
Well, that's very interesting, I'm sure.
Well, now, you take that jar of tobacco there on the table, for instance. Now, suppose I just point my finger at it like this and become a bowl of violets.
Well, that's very interesting.
See? A bowl of violets.
Gobblot. I mean, so it is.
Of course, it ain't nothing very spectacular, your reverendship, but it's a sort of miracle a man can pass without tangling himself up in a mass of trouble.
It's extraordinary. Very, extraordinary.
You can see for yourself, they're real violets.
Indeed. Indeed.
Now, you take this for example. Become a bowl of fish. No, not that kind. Live fish in a goldfish bowl, swimming around. Now. That's better.
It's amazing. How did you do it?
Just told it to.
That's all?
That's all. When I tells a thing to do it, it does it.
It was incredible.
Come on me sudden, like you might say. Well, I'd like to know if it's real, genuine miracles or if it ain't. Well, seeing as how miracles ought to come under your reverendship's special province, more or less.
Well, yes, indeed. However, usually in a somewhat more academic fashion, these are more astonishing.
Well, as far as I can tell, there ain't no limit to it. Like, for instance, a bowl of fish. Turn into a pigeon.
Good heavens. Look at that thing. I say.
None of that. You stay away from Mr. Maydig now. And perhaps I'd best become that same jar of tobacco again. Well, Reverend, what do you think about it?
It's amazing. It's the most extraordinary thing I've ever seen in my life. ever expected to see. I've got to think about it, consider the possibilities.
Well, I might come back in the morning.
Oh, no, I wouldn't hear of it. Look here, I was about to dine when you rang. Wonder if you'd join me. Of course, I'm afraid there's only cold mutton.
Well, now, perhaps there's something else you might like better.
Oh, anything. Frankly, I've grown to hate the sight of them. But you don't mean that.
But why not? Just name it.
A pheasant. I haven't tasted pheasant in years.
So then now is the time. Let there be a pheasant on the table. No, not like that. Let it be dead and roasted and ready to eat.
Oh, look at it. Oh, it's beautiful.
Smells good, too. Perhaps we'd better, yes. Let there be 2 pheasants.
And truffles?
And truffles.
Maybe some oysters?
2 dozen oysters.
Oh, I love it.
We better make it 3 dozen.
And some cheddar. Oh, we must have some cheddar.
Oh, yes. A pound of cheddar. And now, what to drink, Your Reverendship? Champagne?
Oh, well, I really shouldn't. Well, perhaps a small bottle of Moselle.
6 bottles of Moselle. A keg of Star and a case of champagne. Well, there wasn't no mistake about it. I'd come to the right place for certain. Once Mr. Maydig got over his first astonishment, he turned out full of ideas for brand new miracles. Things I might never have thought of, like as not. Well, we polished off that meal in no time at all. And an hour later, we was out walking in the dark streets of the village, churning out miraculous jobs so fast I fairly wore out my finger a-pointing with it. I couldn't begin to tell you all the things we'd done there in a couple of hours, but, well, we installed a new railway line, we drained Flinders Swamp and turned it into a meadow, we cured the vicar's warts, paved all the roads, eliminated taxation, reformed the Lord Mayor, and made all the girls in the village beautiful. Oh, these weren't any of your 8 miracles. All of these were big. And we went right on turning them out, one every 2 minutes, just as regular as clockwork. Well, by midnight we passed clean through the village, and we were walking along the lane by Millsdale's Pond, fairly tired out by all of that thinking and pointing and performing of miracles.
Mr. Fotheringay, I've just thought of another one.
Oh, indeed, and what might it be?
The village clock. Listen to it now. Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, that's true enough. It hasn't got a very melodious sound to it.
Then let's give them a good clock, a great, rich, booming one, shall we?
All right, Mr. Maydig. Let that there clock become a genuine London-style cathedral clock.
Oh, that's much better. Much better. Oh, the people of this village are going to have a big surprise when they wake up in the morning. After all we've done for them tonight.
Well, I might say there's 1 or 2 things that we've done that I ain't so sure about, like turning every drop of alcoholic beverage into plain water, for instance.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about, Mr. Fotheringay. You can always turn out a miraculous pint or 2 for your own purposes, and it will reform all the drunkards in the village.
Well, perhaps so. At any rate, we might as well wait and see what comes of it. Well, what do we perform next?
Well, I really don't know. I can't think of another single miracle that we haven't already.
Half a moment, Mr. Maydig.
Yes?
I just thought of one of my own I'd better take care of.
Oh?
Yeah. Let Constable Winch be right back in San Francisco again. See, he might be catching a boat or a train or something, you understand. I mean, I thought the best idea is just to keep sending him back there every once in a while.
Oh, I doubt that you have anything to worry about. San Francisco is some distance away, you know. I keep trying to think of one more miracle. A big one. Something worthy of ending the night with, but Oh. Well, now.
Huh?
I say. There is one, you know.
Oh, such as?
You see that moon, Mr. Fotheringay?
Oh, naturally. Nigh on to full by the looks of it.
Remember Joshua?
Joshua? Joshua? Oh, now, come off it now.
It would be a wondrous thing to see.
Well, now, that's a pretty tall order, making the moon stand still.
Well, actually, it only appears to stand still. What really happens is that the Earth stops rotating.
Well, I think we'd better not go monkeying around with the universe.
Well, you probably don't have the power to do it anyway. It's really a superior class of miracle, you know.
Oh, I've got the power, all right, but I'm not so sure it's a good idea. I could do it if I wanted to.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course you could. Well, perhaps we'd better get along home.
Well, I don't know now. I might just leave it stop for a little while.
If you could stop it at all.
Oh, well, now, if that's the way you feel, you just take a look at this. Eh? The whole blinking world? Stop rotating. Yeah, now, what's all this? I didn't order no wind.
Fotheringham, what have you done?
I don't rightly know. Look out, things are starting to blow loose.
Oh, you confounded, blundering idiot.
Duck your head. Here comes the Lord Mayor's sheep.
Duck yourself. Here comes the Lord Mayor.
Oh, you better lie down in the ditch before we get blown away.
Oh, it's getting worse all the time.
I can't seem to pull my wits together.
Fotheringham.
Oh, I got it. When the Earth stopped rotating, everything on the surface kept right on moving. 600 miles an hour. Houses, cows, the wind, everything. It's a scientific principle.
And a lot of good that does. Stop it, man. Do something.
Mr. Maydig! Wow, Mr. Maydig! Oh, blimey, if he ain't blown clean away. Gone. Oh, now I got myself a fine kettle of fish for certain. If only there weren't so much confusion, perhaps I could... Oh, that's it. It's the only answer. All right, now. Let nothing happen until I say the word go. And when I do, let everything go back exactly like it was just before I turned that blooming lamp upside down in the Long Dragon bar. And at the same time, let me lose this here miraculous power complete like. Just forget all about it. You got it now? Everything just as it were. No more miracles. Just let me forget the whole thing. All right, then. You ready? Go!
That's only what you say.
And the same as anybody else might say who's got the least bit of scientific knowledge inside of their thicker heads. Aren't I right, Constable Winch?
Couldn't actually say, Mr. Fotheringham. The subject ain't exactly in my province, you know. Neither are the same, Miss Bridges.
Right you are, Constable Winch.
Irregardless, Mr. Beamish, miracles ain't possible.
So you say.
Perhaps you don't even know what a miracle is. Perhaps if I was to point my finger at that lamp there on the bar and tell it to turn upside down, I suppose you think it might do it.
Well, I wouldn't say it wouldn't.
You wouldn't say it wouldn't. Mr. Toddy Beamish, you haven't got a brain in your head. And I'm only wasting the time trying to enlighten you. There you are, Miss Bridges.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Fotheringham.
I'll be dropping in again when the place ain't quite so crowded. And so I bid you all a respectful good night.
Well, Toddy, I'd say you got the best of the argument tonight.
Glory be, will you take a look at this?
What's up, Miss Bridges?
Sixpence. He left me sixpence right here on the bar, big as anything.
And so he did.
The like of it ain't never happened before. Face preserve us if it ain't a downright bloomin' miracle. That's what it is, a downright bloomin' miracle.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you The Man Who Could Work Miracles by H.G. Wells, especially adapted for Escape by Les Crutchfield. Ben Wright was starred as George Fotheringham. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Lou Krugman, Eileen Erskine, and Wilms Herbert. The special music for Escape was composed and adapted by Del Castillo.
Next week, escape with us to the wind-swept peak of Mount Everest and the story of a man who sacrificed everything to climb it, as Leonard Lee tells it in his gripping story, Conquest.
This afternoon, CBS presents a 1-hour-long program for all who are wondering where the world is heading. It's called Challenge of the 50s, Years of Crises, and it will feature Edward R. Murrow and 10 outstanding CBS correspondents. It follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where you spend an hour with Frank Sinatra every Sunday afternoon on the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Good evening. This is Crime Classics. I am Thomas Hyland with another true story of crime. Listen. That's a frigate cutting through the Caribbean. It's just before dawn and cloudless as the sky. The year is 1736, when the stars were younger than they are now and shone more brightly. And this particular sky of tropic brilliance was a navigator's dream. Land was close, and a trade wind bellied the mainsail and set the good frigate scudding. And daylight was just beyond the horizon. There, at the wheel, the helmsman, John Richardson. And holding his bottle for him was his small and drunken friend, Richard Coyle. The frigate sank in 6 minutes and drew sharks. The helmsman and his friend got away, only to commit other nuisances on the seven seas. So tonight, my report to you on Coyle and Richardson, why they hung in a spanking breeze.
Crime Classics, a series of true crime stories from the records and newspapers of every land from every time. Your host each week, Mr. Thomas Hyland, connoisseur of crime, student of violence, and teller of murders. Now, once again, Mr. Thomas Hyland.
They were making rum in Havana in 1736. The place went good with rum. It was hot. There were a lot of mosquitoes, and in every nook and cranny there were dark-eyed beauties. It was necessary to fortify oneself. Beside which, Havana was under almost continual attack by pirates and buccaneers, some of whom stayed over because of the rum. So the town was peopled mostly, beside the dark-eyed beauties, that is, by trenchant cutthroats, deserting sailors, runaway slaves, uncaught murderers, and, generally speaking, black-hearted knaves. All in all, a populace dedicated to Saturday night. One of the fellows who just had Saturday night and was lying in an alley was a deserting seaman named John Richardson. That's John for you. And here comes Dick. Dick Coyle, a little man who robbed drunken sailors. Here he comes.
Such a big one you are, mate. So much of you unconscious. Now let's see what you got in your pockets to make a small one like me more comfortable. Ah, now here's a...
Gotcha, little weasel.
Let me go! Let me go!
Little scurvy. Going through my pockets, were you? How you want it, mate? Knife or just twist your neck? Little sparrow. Think I will twist your head clean off.
No, mate. No, mate, listen to me.
At what?
It's an important thing I got to tell you, mate. I swear. And something to give you, too, mate. Hey, now. Hey.
What?
Ain't you,
I'm John Richardson. What?
John Richardson. John. Oh, John. Big John. How be you, John?
What weaseling you doing, mister, to keep me from killing you?
Now, why should you be killing me?
For stealing my pockets dry.
Oh, I was leaning close over you to see if you be Big John Richardson. Because I got this for you.
What?
This watch. This watch I'm holding up for you.
Oh.
See how it spins, John.
Oh.
See how pretty from a chain.
Pretty.
Gold.
Pretty.
And that's yours, Big John Richardson. Take it. Go on. What's the matter?
You weren't looking for me to give me a... What? What?
There comes a sailor, John. With a sea bag, John.
What of it?
Who can tell what's in the sea bag? Jewels, maybe. Or what can be sold for money. Could you take it from him, John?
Give me the watch, you said.
You take that sea bag from the sailor boy, and I'll give it to you.
You swear?
I do, John. Oh, I do.
Now give me the watch.
Now, first, let's see what's in the sea bag. Why, here's a pretty, John. A knitted hat. Put it on, John. Do. I'll help you. There. How nice you look, John.
And a friendship was born. And all over the Caribbees, people ducked when John Richardson and Dick Coyle came into town. However, there were the unwarned, the unwary. For instance, on a night in Port-au-Prince, a Lascar off a trader.
You can pluck the earring from his ear, John. Get him.
Hello, Lascar.
Good, John. That's the boy, John. Help yourself. It looks fine in your ear.
Or on a night in Roanoke, just when the colonists were finally going good in there with the Indians.
Indians has got nothing. Have to hit a dozen of them before it's worth the night.
And then, professionals that they were ready for New York. And they made out well. The big city folks hadn't heard about them, so no one was ducking. And just when Big John and Little Dick were raking it in, so to speak, you guessed it, a woman.
Put me down. Put me down.
Put her down, John. He's a strong one, John is, ain't he, Bertha?
Oh, yes.
John.
Aye.
Would you like to kiss Miss Nolding?
Aye.
He'd like to kiss you. Go on, Johnny. He's my friend, Johnny is. He's my friend.
Dick. Dickie.
Kiss her again, John. Kiss her.
Now you listen to me, Dickie. Dickie!
Now, don't you do it, John. Don't you do nothing to me.
I'll leave him be, John.
I just want to tell him
I'm listening at you, John.
I like this one, Dickie. I like to marry this one.
I'll be blowed.
I like you too, John.
Oh, ask her. Ask her. Miss Nolan, my friend would consider it indeed a great honor if you give him your hand in marrying.
Oh, I'd love to.
Which are the events immediately surrounding the marriage of Bertha Nolding and John Richardson. They moved into a small cottage and took in one boarder. You know who. Dick Coyle. John was so enamored with Bertha that Dick couldn't get him to go out nights and do their routine on the docks. So soon their money ran out.
Let's go to sea again, John boy.
Bertha,
Yes, John boy?
he wants me to go to sea again.
Why?
The money's run out.
Why don't you go to sea again, John boy?
And they got a berth on the good ship Malta Queen, shipping tar out of Boston, picking up sugar out of Havana and taking it to Florida. And one night, just before dawn, John was at the wheel, and Coyle was by his side.
Have another, John boy. Drink here.
Good rum.
Havana rum's the best. And look what you've done.
And what have I done?
Let go of the wheel and look at the zigzag you're making.
Come, wheel. Come to me, wheel. Wheel spin.
I'll have you another, John boy.
After you, mate.
Well, after you.
All righty. Havana rum's the best rum. Tell you what it does. Goodens the eye.
Do it now. Goodens the eye, aye?
Goodens it. Give you, for instance.
Give me one, Johnny boy.
Off the bow there. Rocks.
The Kiss of Three Sisters rock, we call it. Know it well, for when I sail
And
with...
you're thinking we'll hit it with the boaty now, the way we're sailing.
Aye, that I do.
That we won't. Sharp eyes in me now that the Havana rum...
Shipwreck, don't you? In which the frigate sank in 6 minutes? It is interesting to note that the coral rock known as the Kiss of Three Sisters was later changed by seamen to Shark's Feast Rock, and so it remains today. Coyle and Richardson, however, clung to a spar and drifted to shore, the sole survivors of their grisly mistake. They were picked up from an atoll in Key West by a pirate band with whom they made fast friends, as their personal philosophies were very much akin. In 6 months, Richardson and Coyle were back in New York, sunburned and broke. They made their way immediately to the little cottage where resides John's wife, Bertha.
And what did you bring for me, John?
I had your name tattooed to me.
Now, what a thing to bring to a wife.
Dick here had your name tattooed to him, too.
Now, did you, Dick?
Aye, right across my chest. Mrs. Bertha Richardson.
You're loved, the two of you. Now, I have a surprise for you.
What be it?
I've got 800 pounds.
Oh.
Have you now?
My daddy dear died of the jumping glanders.
Oh, poor man. And 800 pounds he left, did he?
He did, indeed.
And where's the pounds, me darling Mrs. Richardson?
In the loose brick there. Keeping it as a surprise for my wandering Johnny boy. Come to me, Johnny boy.
Aye.
John? Johnny boy, I missed you.
Do it, John. A pretty throat, John.
Bertha.
John?
Do it. We'll have that money, John.
Bertha. Bertha.
That's the lad.
Bertha.
You've done it, lad.
Bertha.
Lad, John boy. Let go, Johnny boy. You've done it. It's here, John. The money's here, just like Bertha said. What a surprise for a homecoming. Good boy.
As luck would have it, there was a boat leaving that very night for Italy, the Sorrento Dove, Captain Lucian Faber, master. The boys signed on. 3 nights at sea, Dick Coyle got the first mate so drunk that all he had to do was lead him by the hand, and that's how Coyle's friend Richardson got to be first mate. Italy in 1737 is where Richardson and Coyle made their next appearance. They were in a gondola being pulled down the Grand Canal, enjoying the sights and the company of Kabalah Faber.
And was my husband kind to you?
A question asked because Captain Lucian Faber was her husband, and Captain Faber was the master of the vessel that had brought the lads to Venice.
I was kind to them. Ain't she a pretty one, Mr. Coyle?
Now!
The captain asked, jabbing Dick Coyle with his elbow.
What's the elbow, Captain?
When my mate stumbled overboard, I made Richardson there take his place. And when I lost my second in the blow off the Azores, well, I promoted Mr. Coyle. Didn't I, Mr.
Oh, please, Captain.
And a fine mate, I say, Mr. Richardson did make.
And you'd be saying through, Mrs. Captain Faber. Look at him there, sleeping like a babe. Big John Richardson.
Bambino. Molte bambino. Molte, molte.
Carlotta, you promised not to talk Italian when I come home. I've got no way of knowing what you said when...
I said simply that Mr. Richardson was a large baby. Large.
Captain.
Yes?
How come you come to settle here in Venice, Captain?
Carlotta, her home. She doesn't want to leave. I want to take her to Camden, New Jersey to live, my home. But the dear darling wanted to stay here in Venice.
Molte.
Huh? What did you say, dear darling?
Nothing.
Oh, bring yourself here, dear darling, and lean against me. Come.
No.
Now, you just come here.
No.
Now, you don't have to be bashful about my
If
friend.
I will move, I will awaken this great bambino who has fallen asleep in such a way that I...
Let's don't wake him, Captain. He'll just clutter up. Let's talk about what we started out to talk about.
Yes.
John and me always wanted to own a ship, Captain.
What are you humming for, Carlotta, dear darling?
I want to hum, that is all.
Captain.
Oh, yes. Go on, mister. What were you saying?
Well, John and me always wanted a boat. Ain't saying we got enough to buy a whole boat. Not a whole boat such as yours, but half a boat.
How much you holding, mister?
600 pounds?
Can't sell you no partnership for so little.
7, Captain.
I'm loading cargo tomorrow for Honduras, mister. Before I get clearing, I'm needing more than 7, mister.
8, and that's all we got.
And that's all I need.
We'll draw papers in the morning.
Good.
Full partner.
Full partner.
And one of us gets hurt or dead, the share goes to the other.
Agree.
Johnny boy, wait. We own half a boat, Johnny. Half a boat.
How'd I get here?
Molte.
Now mind you, Johnny boy, keep it on course.
Aye.
Hold the wheel as tight as if it were your own lady.
Aye.
This ain't the Malta Queen to be run up on the rocks, John. This is our own ship.
Half.
Johnny boy, That's thinking you're doing when you say it's a shame only half the ship belongs to us. And such a shame, too.
Aye.
You say it. Why do you say that? What could be in that thinking brain of yours? You said 'twas a shame only half the ship was...
You said it, so it must be a shame.
Shall I tell you why, John boy?
Aye.
Because half a ship is half a cargo and half a profit.
Aye.
And the whole ship. Well, now listen, John boy. We contracted with a captain. One partner dies, his share goes to the other.
Aye.
He's in his cabin, John boy.
In his hammock.
Peaceful.
And...
Let's have him an accident, John boy.
Aye.
Now.
Aye.
Aye, Prebles. Avast, Prebles. Take the wheel for Mr. Richardson, mister. The captain's calling to us. Oh, it's a good day for us, John boy.
You know who is a nice lady?
Uh-huh.
The captain's wife.
She's a widow you can marry with.
Aye.
Here. Oh, Mr. Hartley.
What can I do for you, mister?
As steward, you be holding the blunderbuss under lock and key.
Aye. And so?
Well, let's have it, lad. Let's have it.
Only the captain asks for the blunderbuss and gets it, mister.
The first mate here wants it.
I want it. Only the captain wants it and gets it.
John boy.
Aye. Such a big gun, this blunderbuss.
Come along, John. It's a beautiful way to die, Johnny boy. Sleeping in a hammock with softy dreams. Put the muzzle to him, John, and send him on. Well, do it.
Dickie.
Do it.
I can't.
Chicken heart of a man, pull the trigger. Shoot his head off.
The trigger stuck. What is happening here?
Strangle him, John boy. Throw the gun aside and strangle him.
No, you don't. No.
Catch him, John.
Shoot him, strangle him. Run, put the gun aside, strangle him. Oh, which? What do you want me to do?
Catch him and kill him.
He's climbing the rigging, Dickie.
Well, let him climb. We'll shoot him down from there like a nesting bird. Hey there, Captain. You know what's going to happen to you, don't you? Mean man, you'll sail to the death of all of us. Get the trigger fixed, John boy.
Aye. Aye.
Let me try to construct the picture for you. A picture first, a frigate under full sail on the Honduras run. Sea, sky, ship. Now, rigging of ship. Now, on rigging, captain of ship. Fresh from a noonday snooze in a hammock, who, from force of habit, had time only to grab his plumed captain's hat. Scared. Below him on deck, Dickie Coyle and John Richardson. Dickie threatening the captain's life, and John fingering the trigger of a blunderbuss, which had a pretty good range. And now, gathering toward the scene of this nautical picture, the crew, muttering, pointing, and wide-eyed. Now the picture moves, as the captain holds on with one hand and gesticulates with the other.
Men, listen to me. I'm your captain, and you who have sailed with me before know, oh, how well you know, that I have only your welfare at heart. Which of you has it in him to stand by and watch his captain perish? Which of you does not remember the storms I've sailed you through, the still seas and the torrents? And which of you could not come to me in times of stress needing advices or medicine, and I would give it to you. Men, I order you, seize those two men who wish to murder me and throw me into irons. I order it, and there will be rum in the forecastle when I get back on deck. You heard me, men. Aye.
The men, used to a ship where fair play had been practiced, only shifted their feet and listened just as attentively to what Dickie Coyle had to say. And Dickie Coyle said it.
Get below, men. I'll divide with all of you what monies there are in the captain's chest. Get below. How's the trigger, John boy?
Fixed.
Throw him overboard, John. Now turn the boat around, John boy, and let's go back to Venice.
It is you. Finally, it is the two of you.
After a year it's been.
Hello, ma'am.
Molte. I cannot allow myself to say it.
Oh, yes, you can. Your husband's dead, Mom.
You tell me this?
Foot caught in a halyard, Mom, and over he went. In a storm he was. Men begging him to stay below, they loved him so. But not him, brave fool that he was.
Police!
Ma'am, what are you saying?
There came here a steward to my husband, from whom you wrested the blunderbuss he would not give you. He has told me the story.
How you shot, John boy. We'd better run. We'd best leave here, John boy.
I'd like to read a translation from a Venetian chronicle of the time. Richardson and Coyle were apprehended by the local police on the Ponte Vecchio, where they were splitting a goatskin of wine. When taken in custody, they were dressed as gondoliers. In prison, Richard Coyle convinced his jailer that a terrible mistake had been made, that he and his friend were indeed servants to the King of Naples. They were released.
Don't feel too badly, good man. Mistakes will happen. Come on, John. The king must be worried. Come.
Only to be apprehended again when they paused over another skin of wine. And they were tried and found guilty of murder and mutiny. And one day, they were led in chains to a ship of the Navy which was about to sail. The order of execution had it that Richard Coyle was to die first. But there was a conference.
You want to go first, don't you, John boy?
Well,
Sure you do.
I want to go first.
So the order was reversed. And as the ship sailed to sea, they were hanged from a yardarm. And past the breakwater, they were cut down. John Richardson hit the water first.
Richardson, tonight's crime classic, was adapted from the original court reports and newspaper accounts by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. The music was composed by Bernard Herrmann and conducted by Lud Gluskin. And the program is produced and directed by Elliot Lewis. Thomas Hyland is portrayed on radio by Lou Merrill. In tonight's story, Walter Tetley was heard as Coyle and Clayton Post as Richardson. Featured in the cast were Georgia Ellis, Herb Butterfield, Gladys Holland, and Charles Calvert. Gil Warren speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.